Out of all of the incredible magical schools that exist in J.K. Rowling's Wizarding World, there have been none, not even Hogwarts, that have been described as beautifully as Beauxbaton Academy of Magic. Known as one of the Big Three, the school has existed for centuries and is thought to date back to the 1200s. In today's video, I'm going to take you through the glittering history of the school, its traditions, triumphs, and the profiles of some of its most decorated former students. You'll discover everything you need to know and more. So with that being said, welcome back to the world of Harry Potter everyone, and please enjoy today's video on the complete history of Beauxbaton Academy of Magic. Okay everyone, let's get started. Now, the school is said to be founded sometime in or around the latter half of the 1200s. Now, this is derived from the earliest known mention of Beauxbaton, which is from their participation in the first ever Triwizard Tournament, where the school competed against Hogwarts and Durmstrang. That means it is possible that the school is older than we're led to believe, but because the earliest date on record is the 1200s, we've got to go with that, unless JK releases more solid information around the school's foundation. In the movie, the school's coat of arms is a shield surrounded by golden lines with two gold wands on the top, and in the book, it is two crossed wands emitting 3 stars each in the middle. The school is actually situated in a stunning piece of architecture known as the Palace of Beauxbaton. It was built over 700 years ago in the south of France, in the Pyrenees, and is surrounded by formal gardens and lawns created out of the mountainous landscape by magic. The palace changes and adapts for the holidays also. At Christmas time, for example, the dining chamber is adorned and decorated with huge, beautiful ice sculptures which do not melt, and the students eating in the hall are serenaded by choirs of wood nymphs. The palace, like Hogwarts and Durmstrang, is under the protection of unplottability, which protects it from muggles and rival schools. Despite the assumption by many, especially with the aid of the Goblet of Fire movie, Beauxbaton's is not an all-girls school. It accepts boys and girls from France and all across Europe too, with countries such as Portugal, Spain, Luxembourg, Netherlands and Belgium all having students of such nationalities attend. In addition to that wrongful portrayal in the movie, it wasn't just girls that attended Hogwarts during the year of the Triwizard Tournament. Several Beauxbaton boys went too, and entered their names into the Goblet of Fire. I'm still not sure, to this day, why director Mike Newell allowed or even wanted the school to appear as an all-girls establishment, especially as so much was left out of the movie. If you're going to leave stuff out, make sure what you do leave in is actually accurate. Speaking of male attendees, there have been some very notable ones over the centuries, most recognisable being the famed alchemist Nicholas Flamel, who along with his wife is said to have been the creator of the Philosopher's Stone, from which he crafted the Elixir of Life and also the ability to turn any metal into gold. It is said that Flamel and his wife were avid patrons of the school for a number of years, and that the magical fountain in the middle of the school's park, which is said to have healing abilities, is named after them. It wasn't just Flamel who had gained notoriety, there was also Vincent du de Trèfle-Pique, who had gained quite a name throughout the French wizarding community. Between the years of 1793 and 1794, at the height of the French Revolution, executions were being held almost every day and everywhere. Vincent cleverly cast a concealment charm over his head to create the appearance, or the illusion, that his head had been removed and avoided any confrontation with many rebels. Then we have quite a nasty former student who went by the name of Luc Millefeuille. This is a man who Voldemort definitely would have appreciated. Luc was a baker who began poisoning muggles through his pastries, such was his hatred for them. He gained a notable reputation for his actions, and it is unknown what happened to him. As of recent times, the most notable student would have been Fleur Delacour, who competed in the 1994 Triwizard Tournament. Fleur struggled throughout the tournament, perhaps not performing to her best ability, but nonetheless was an exceptionally gifted and talented student who could perform magic far beyond what many would consider acceptable for her age. Beauxbaton has always been a school that believed in and adhered to their traditions, whether they faced criticism for them or not. Their first, only, and preferred method of travel is by Abraxan and carriage. Now, as many of you may know, and for those of you who don't, Abraxans are large winged horses and carriages are, well, carriages, but they're not normal carriages. They're actually the size of a house, which means that more than one Abraxan will be needed, more like 8 to 10. Now apparently, Beauxbatons don't want to place a concealment charm on their horses or their carriages. Now I don't know why that is, it's never been disclosed, but the direct consequence of this means that they are breaking the international statute of wizarding secrecy, and they continue to do so over time, and every time they travel. They must always travel in their school uniforms, which consist of pale blue robes made of the finest silk. The uniforms are extremely light and meant for warm weather. We've seen the Beauxbaton students struggle to adapt to the weather in Scotland, as their robes did very little to keep them warm. Education at Beauxbatons was similar to that of Hogwarts and Durmstrang. However, something the French school shared with Hogwarts over Durmstrang is that they did not teach the dark arts as a subject in itself. It wasn't the exact same as Hogwarts, however. If we take the end of year exams for example, while Hogwarts took their owls in their 5th year, the French students took theirs a year later in their 6th. Why is this the case is unknown. Most likely J.K. Rowling wanted some differences between the two schools. It's not exactly known what their subject list is, but it's safe to say, or safe to assume, that it's not too far from the Hogwarts curriculum. And speaking of Hogwarts, the two schools have always had a warm relationship, stretching back centuries to the first Triwizard Tournament in the 1200s. Beauxbaton currently lie in 2nd, just 2 wins behind Hogwarts for the most tournament wins in history. Even after Harry Potter's unfair but unmanageable entry into the 1994 competition, which infuriated Madame Maxime, she still maintained a friendship with Albus Dumbledore and even returned to Hogwarts to pay her respects at his funeral. She was also visibly and deeply upset at Cedric Diggory's death, clutching her heart over her chest. It is unknown if Madame Maxime is still headmistress at this present time, or if she retired sometime in the early 2000s. She was well respected by her peers and students, something she really craved, as her biggest concern was the discovery of the fact she was indeed half giant, which many could have guessed from first glance. However, there was a lot of prejudice for half-breeds during her time, and even before it. Madame Maxime feared that her job would be put at risk if those in the French ministry knew she had giant's blood. Her excuse for people questioning her size is informing them, quite rudely, that she has big bones. She was also extremely partial to fair play, something that many respected her for. As I mentioned previously, she was initially furious at Harry Potter's involvement in the Triwizard Tournament, but still, she judged him fairly, giving him 8 out of 10 in the first task and full marks during the second for his demonstration of outstanding moral fibre. Beauxbaton seems to be surrounded in its own magical beauty, just as Hogwarts is for many. The establishment values the education, safe teaching and well-being of all its students. It is unknown if the school sorts its students as Hogwarts does, or if they are just separated by surname as would be normal standard. I like to believe that they do have some kind of sorting process, but it still remains to be seen. And with that being said everyone, I really hope you all enjoyed my video on the history of Beauxbaton's Academy of Magic. I really love making informative videos like these, but here is my question for you. If you could create a sorting process for Beauxbatons, any kind of process, what would it be and how would you do it? Would you give them houses, or factions, or groups? Let me know in the comment section below. Thanks again everyone, have a wonderful day and please remember, be happy, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate your support. Everyone, notifications of uploads are more important than ever. So please, if you haven't already, turn those notifications on to make sure you're notified the moment my video goes live. Making videos is what I love to do. It's my dream and my passion. However, it does cost time and money to produce this content. So if you have $1 to spare to support me on Patreon in exchange for some exclusive unseen content, then you can click the Patreon link below or at the end of this video. Please only support me if you can afford it. And make sure to follow me on Instagram at InstaDeanJ and on Twitter at PotterFolklore. Check out my other videos appearing on screen, and please make sure, most importantly, to hit that subscribe button. Thanks again everyone, and please have a great day.